Hey guys, it's Dr. Justin Marchegiani here. Today's video is going to be on the top 5 toxins that you need to be aware of that could be negatively impacting your health. Really excited to dive into this topic. It's affecting everyone, whether you know it or not. Before we dive in, please smash that like button. It really helps the search algorithm. Put your comments down below in the description bar. Let me know your thoughts on different toxins that you've been exposed to and things that you've done to help improve that. So out of the gates, right? Toxins. Let's just talk about different families of toxins and where they're going to come from. All right. So toxin number one is going to be pesticides. Very simple. Now, pesticides, they do like one thing. They're designed to kill insects, pests, right? And they do it through disrupting their reproductive system or disrupting their nervous system, neurological system. Now, problem is in small doses over time, it can accumulate and it can negatively impact your hormones, your reproductive system, your nervous system, right? So, especially organochlorine pesticides, or there's Roundup pesticides, right? These pesticides are going to have hormonal impacts on your body. A lot of times they can be more estrogenic. And so for men, that's bad because estrogen is going to negatively impact testosterone production through LH in the brain. And through women, it's going to throw them more into estrogen dominance. Estrogen dominance is going to increase chances of cancer, lots of PMS, mood, back pain, breast tenderness, excessive bleeding, can even help grow fibroids and endometrial tissues, things like that. So the more you drive yourself into estrogen dominance, not a good thing. Also is an increased fat deposition, right? Women are just going to gain more weight. Men will see it with the man boobs or the gynecomastia and the breast tissue. So this is a real situation. So you want to be aware of it. You want to be on top of that for sure. So that's going to be the pesticides. And so obviously eating organic is going to be a good thing. You can also look at kind of the clean 15. These are the foods that are going to have the lowest pesticide residue, typically things that have a peel on it. And then stay away from the dirty dozen. These are going to be the ones that have the highest amount of pesticide residue. So that's a good thing out of the gate. And again, if you can't eat organic, just do your best to get it from a local farmer's market. There's a lot of farmers that just don't pay for the organic certification, but it's still at or around that quality. And you can always just go to organic frozen vegetables. That's also another good option for you as well. So pesticides. Next would be hormones and meat. Now, hormones and meat could be artificial kind of growth hormones given to fatten the animals up, right? It could be hormones, essentially growth hormones or estrogenic hormones, because hormones are typically given to the animals to cause them to grow faster, right? Because hormones cause this growth mediation, right? And the fatter the animals are, the more money the farmer can make when they sell the animal off. And so getting that animal up to that weight faster helps the farmers make more money. Not good for you. I mean, there's some of that hormone that could easily pass off to you for sure. Hormones are measured in like nanograms and picograms. So you don't need a lot to have a significant negative impact on your body. You really don't. And so organic, free range, hormone free, typically organic's going to be hormone free. Free range, typically you're also going to have some hormone free stuff. So you want to be on top of that. You also want to look at the feed because the animals may not be given a bunch of hormones, but they may be given a whole bunch of pesticide laden grains, corn, those kind of things. And there may be some of that pesticide hormone transfer from the foods that they're given. So grass-fed, pasture-fed, always going to be better. Next big issue, number 3, is going to be your plastics. Now, plastics are going to be more problematic when that plastic is heated up. So if you're heating up your plastic Tupperware in the microwave, no go. Definitely switch to a glass Pyrex. Plastic in your water bottle, if it's all day long, right, that could be problematic. Again, plastics are going to leach when there's more heat and when there's sunlight. And so even if you're drinking out of a plastic bottle, if it's out of the sun, if it's in a cool area, less problematic. The problem is a lot of the stores may leave that plastic bottle out on the dock, right? The shipping dock, loading dock when they're getting it. So, try to order from a health food store. Smaller ones tend to be better with that because they're turning things over a lot faster. And if you're going to buy bottles and leave them around, definitely choose like a Pellegrino, a Topo Chico, a Gerald Steiner, a Mountain Valley, something that's going to be on the glass side because that way you don't have that residue there. And definitely do not heat anything up with plastic. That's important out of the gates. The heat's really going to cause that liberation. Okay, so we talked about pesticides, hormones, plastics. The next thing would be estrogens going to be in your skincare products. So the easiest thing is look at the Cosmetic Skin Safety Database or skindeep.org. We'll put links down below. And you can look at any of your skincare products or hygiene products and make sure there's no phthalates, parabens, those type of things. Sometimes a tiny amount may be acceptable because they're typically used as a preservative, right? To allow that product to not go bad. So just do your best. People are more aware they're using healthier alternatives. and you can look at that cosmetic skin database for better ideas and just gives you an idea of what you're actually getting into with some of the skin products. Now, there are some lines that are out there that are just way more natural, like Marie Veronique's a great one. There's a handful of other good ones that really are aware of this, and they're avoiding all of the different parabens and phthalates in those type of situations. And also in the plastics, we're trying to avoid some phthalates in the plastic. Also BPA. There's other types of BPA that are still estrogenic. So if it says BPA free and it's still a plastic, guess what? You still could have other types of estrogenic compounds in there that could still be problematic. So ideally get like a Yeti or a Clean Canteen, or just, drink out of a glass bottle. Like usually I have my Topo Chicos here that are in glass during the day, or I have like my reverse osmosis filter where I'll put it like in a glass mason jar and I'll add some sea salt for electrolytes. Those are all great options for you for hydration during the day and avoiding the plastics. That's a good one out of the gates. And next one I would say would be toxins in your water. So if you're drinking water out of the faucet, you want at least a good high quality carbon-based filter. That's a good one to, an activated charcoal, something, or a bone char to at least get some of the, whether it's pharmaceutical drugs out, whether it's fluoride, whether it's excess chlorine, which can negatively impact gut bacteria. These are all going to be problematic things. Now, there's a couple ways of dealing with this out of the gate. So you can get one of the bottles from Clearly Filtered. We'll put a link down below. Clearly Filtered is like the high-end Brita. So like your Brita basically is kind of more of a carbon-based filter. It's more to let the water taste good and smell good. So it's more for aesthetics, right? But it's not going to get the drugs out, the extra fluoride out, the extra things that are in there. And so the Clearly Filtered will at least help get a lot of those other toxins in there out. Of course, a good reverse osmosis filter is going to be your best, like a 4 to 6 stage RO filter is going to be wonderful. And that's going to get everything out. Again, the problem with RO, it will suck out extra minerals. So you want to make sure that you either get like a real salt, fine grain salt and use a shaker and add some back in, or you can get like a trace mineral supplement and just add a couple of drops in just to keep your water mineralized. But I always tell patients it's easier to add minerals back in than to pull toxins out. Toxins out is the hardest thing. And so nice under-the-counter reverse osmosis is great. I also have a whole house as well that's wonderful. Whole house is good. It's not great. You can't get an RO for a whole house because RO wastes about 75% of the water in there. So if everything in your house runs through that, you're going to waste a lot of water. So you're better off just doing the countertop and just having a gallon reservoir. So it's only using it for your drinking water. And then out of the gates, you can use a Clearly Filtered bottle for anything else on top of that. So out of the gate, you have kind of your filtered water, you have hormones in the food, skincare products, you have plastics that you're putting food on, and then of course you have just the pesticides that you're dealing with on all of your produce that's non-organic. So those are going to be your top 5 kind of toxin sources that you need to be aware of. And again, there's easy lifestyle changes to fix that. I'll put some links down below, some resources for the RO filters, for the water filters, for the water pitcher. Put the cosmetic skin database website out of there. That's a good one as well. I mean, I would say next thing, having looked at a lot of industrial kind of toxin tests, the big 3 things I see on there a lot with patients is going to be plastic byproducts. I'm going to see pesticide byproducts. And the last one I think would be more on the gasoline byproduct side. So whether it's like benzenes or different gasoline, petroleum-like byproducts. Now, I mean, the biggest vector for that is like if you're walking around in a city and there's lots of exhaust around you, that's going to be the big vector for that. But if you're not in that type of area, a lot of filtration over the years has gotten better with a lot of the exhaust systems in cars. That's getting better. And so that's less of an issue. But if you're in a city environment and you're walking around a lot of cars around you, there's definitely that as an option. I think it's always good to have a little bit of glutathione, a little bit of NAC in your system, hydrate enough, just so that phase 2 detoxification pathways are upregulated and you can bind up those good toxins. So things that I use my detox aminos, which is going to have reduced glutathione. It'll have all the sulfur amino acids, methionine, cysteine, glutamine, glycine to make glutathione. And also some calcium to glucarate or some DIM can be great for estrogen binding and estrogen detoxification. These are all excellent options on top of that to really lower your toxic burden, as well as the different xenoestrogens that could be in your hygiene products, your plastics, your foods, your water, etc. Again, guys, this is Dr. J here. And again, if you have gut issues, guess what? You're not going to be able to digest and absorb and assimilate all the nutrients you need to be able to detoxify optimally. So, of course, we work on the good diet and lifestyle, the water, the food quality. That's essential. But if we still have gut or digestive issues, that's going to be the next step because we need to absorb and assimilate and utilize all of our nutrients so our detoxification pathways can function optimally. All right, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, put your comments down below. If you want to work with someone like myself to kind of dive into your health needs and your toxic stressors, there'll be a consult link down below in the description where you can reach out to myself and staff where we can help you out. Again, if you enjoyed today's video, thumbs up, share with family and friends. Appreciate it. All right, have a great day, y'all. Bye now.